Welcome to the Pittsburgh Music Academy. Please enjoy this in-depth interview with our vocal instructor, Jennie Nolan.
Hi, I'm Jennie Nolan, and I am the voice teacher at Pittsburgh Music Academy.
Hi, Jennie.
Hi.
Thank you for doing this interview with us, and we're going to get started with a little bit about you. What's something that you want everybody to know about?
Well, I'm not a Pittsburgh native. I was born and raised in Southern California, but I love it here.
Mhm.
And I live in the sticks down south of the South Hills. But I think Pittsburgh has a great culture, musically, artistically, and so it's fun to have students from all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I love to run, I love to bake. I'm a wife and a mom of 4 daughters who all went to PMA.
Oh, cool.
And they were all string kids. But singing is my passion. And I sing everywhere, and I've been singing since I was tiny. I think that tells you everything about me. Yes, I have naturally curly hair.
Great.
And if my hair fell out, I don't know what I would do.
Great. So, Jennie, can you tell us what your favorite career performance has been?
It's a challenge because I'm a choral music person, so I conduct and I sing. And I would say that I sang the soprano solos in John Rutter's Requiem a long time ago, and that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think singing the Thomas Tallis Speminalium, I sang with the Pittsburgh Camerata,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a piece where it's 8 different choirs and they're all singing simultaneously. And that was pretty exhilarating.
Wow.
But probably the most exhilarating was when my children's choir sang in Canterbury Cathedral for their noon, it's not a Vesper service, but their noon whatever.
Mm-hmm.
15 of us, and it was just like, chills.
Goosebumps, yeah.
It was just one of those amazing moments, and to hear their voices ringing beautifully all the way through Canterbury Cathedral,
Yeah.
it was just really, I don't know, life-changing. So,
Jennie, can you tell us why you teach?
well, like most children think when I grow up I want to be a fireman or whatever. All of my family are teachers, and I was like, I'm not going to be a teacher, not at all. But I've always been interested in kids and talking to kids and seeing them develop, and I love the light bulb moment, when you're instructing, you're saying something and they go, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And it's very exciting. And I realize my husband calls me Coach Jennie because I'm always coaching. I'm always encouraging. I'm always like, come on, you can do this, you can do this. So I don't think I can get it out of my system. I just have to do it. So I love seeing younger people develop. I love working with older people who come to this later,
Mm-hmm.
and they find out like, oh, I have a voice. I'm pretty sure Kathleen Battle, one of my favorite sopranos, crazy diva that she is, came to opera very late in life. So hey, anybody can start, but it's inspiring to teach. So there you go.
Great, good answer. Okay, can you tell us something that you would do with your very first lesson with a young student, a young beginner voice student?
A beginning student who's young, I would look at them with a bright, cheerful face and, ask them, what are you doing? If it's summer, ooh, have you gone on vacation? I would ask them about something about their life, oh, how's school this week? What was something really fun? I would ask them something to hopefully make them comfortable, and then pretty quickly after, that gives me an idea of who they are as a person, what their personality's like. If they say, I just love to read and they talk like this, I know I should probably be calm. But if they're super exuberant, I can be a little bit more exuberant. And then from there, I would pick a fun round that everybody knows, and I'd say, hey, sing the song with me. And we would start with just singing some simple song.
Mm-hmm.
Now why don't you try it by yourself? I'll try it. Okay, let's try it together. Oh, let's try it. You go first, I go, and that gives me, in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, a really good idea of what they're bringing into the room. And if they're shy, if they're ready to sing like big things, if they want to sing smaller folk songs, it gives me a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully by the end of that short amount of time, they're like, oh, this is fun. And as a Kodai specialist, And I have a lot of, I know all about Suzuki stuff and all of these things. There are all sorts of little games that even we can play, just the two of us, that are very simple. Here, let me try this rhythm, and when I do this, I want you to, could you stand up when you hear things like that, just so that they're not even thinking like, oh, I'm having a lesson right now. They're having a lesson, and they're becoming comfortable, and I'm taking in information and going, okay, this is where they're at, and here's where we're going to start. So.
What is a Kodai specialist?
Okay, so there's Dalcroth Eurythmics. Kodai is Zoltán Kodai. He was a Hungarian ethnomusicologist and composer, and so his methodology, I feel, goes right along with Suzuki. I had all my training a million years ago in the dinosaur ages in California, and it's very everyone can. So, and what Kodai would say was everyone can sing. It's very singing based. And we go from where they're at, rote, to where we want them to be to note. So this process of incorporating their whole bodies into and taking what they know to teach them what they don't know. So and it's marries right along with the Suzuki method and the beginning voice songs. It's all just marries very well.
Yeah, it sounds like it connects, and it really focuses on like the idea that everybody can, and everybody.
And
it's inside. At. It's natural.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, cultures have sung forever. We still sing here, but we also, our phones or our Spotify or whatever do our singing a lot for us now. But,
Okay, what is great about working with adult students?
Adult students are so interesting because they all come from different backgrounds. So they have a full-time job, or 3 kids at home that are making them pull their hair out, or they're just now thinking like, I like to sing. I want to see if I can sing better. So they come in, but they come into the room with the challenge of, we're very self-aware as adults, right? We tend to be much more self-conscious, and it's fun to help them get outside of that self-consciousness. The voice is so interesting because it's inside your body, and I find that if you have an instrument and you can put your hands on it, you could, whatever. It's not as scary. There's something in between me and you, but if you come in and I'm teaching you and it's just us and it's like, where do I look? What do I do? So
interesting.
It's fun to try to make the person comfortable. So far, all of my adult singers have been ready for challenges. So that's been, like, oh, let's push you past Broadway. Let's do a little Italian. Really? Oh, I'll try Italian. And it's been kind of fun to see how to challenge a singer who is a human that's much more set in his or her ways.
Why are you excited to be a part of the PMA faculty?
I love the Pittsburgh Music Academy very, very much. It's near and dear to my heart. I think my daughter started taking violin at 6, and then everybody else of the 4 girls started taking cello and viola, and just it was so good for all of them. It was encouraging to all of them, and they jumped right in. When I first started teaching down in San Diego, I was the general music teacher, and I helped with the band, and I worked with the beginning orchestra teacher, and those poor kiddos came in, and they were all out of tune on their string instruments, and they were all playing some really, really simple music, and they were 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And the concerts were kind of painful, but the second I came to PMA and my kids started doing group classes, it was like, oh, they're making music. They're making music in like the first group class they've ever been to. So it was exciting for me, and it was exciting for them because they were actually playing songs, and they were encouraged by the challenges of, oh, let me figure out that rhythm or whatever. So.
You're our first like official voice teacher also, so we're really excited to have you as well.
Yay! I'm excited.
It should be fun to see how we can like blend and like collaborate more and everything.
Super, super cool because
there's so many good ways that instrumentalists and vocalists can collaborate, and I think collaborating sooner the better, because then you know how to
Yes.
interact with each other.
And you know, singers have the stigma of they're singers, they're not musicians.
Yes, there definitely is a stigma.
And
As an instrumentalist, I can confirm.
right, and we don't count, right? We all these things that we have, but I think by putting voice into a music academy, hopefully the kids, they do not just voice, you know, they do another instrument as well, but and collaborating and doing any chamber work or anything like that. It's like, here are all the instruments. This one just happens to be a live bit of human.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's a good point too.
that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, Jenny, why do you think music education is important for human growth and development?
You know, when my dad was a kid in high school, I think he took Latin, and he said to us, all of you need to take Latin. You all need to take Latin. It's the language that, so no matter where you go, you can all communicate. And we didn't believe him. And it didn't really work, right? It doesn't.
Sure.
I can sing in Latin for you, and that's great. But I can go anywhere in the world and sing, or go anywhere in the world and make music and have a connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that music education helps us to have a common language. So I think that's really important. And I also just think music is one of those things that when you reach you gain skill in it and you can make it yourself, it's kind of like a self-soothing antidote to troubles, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can make music and we can snap out of a funk. We can make music and bring joy to someone else. We can take our instruments to all kinds of places and bless and encourage people in all kinds of circumstances. It's fun to share. It's not something you necessarily keep to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a human to human connecting thing that I don't know. I think it's in our nature just to make music, and I think people would be happier in general if they knew how to make music on some kind of instrument. If you're thinking about taking voice and you're not sure, take voice. Come to PMA and take voice lessons. I think that the program that we offer here is comprehensive, and you will find growth in your technique quickly. You'll find interesting music to sing, and it will be encouraging to you as a human. I also think if you're a young singer, you want to take voice lessons, please take voice lessons. I would love it. But also sing in a choir, and you can come join us at the South Hills Children's Choir, and that gives you a group class dynamic where you learn not just to be a soloist, but to be singing in harmony and to be a supporter and to be a collaborator with a larger group.